Welcome back to Ninwood Transport as we try and grow Ninwood 68 population. We're up one in the first episode of this series. We're trying to grow it into the biggest city on the country map. Now, I don't know why I'm going to the money. I'm going into cities. So on town directory, we are only about 4,500, 4,700 people off. We are at the very bottom of this list. We're probably going to be there for some time, but we are going to grow this. We're trying to build our income up to where we can actually go and invest money in Ninwood and bring passengers and bring mail and bring all that sort of good stuff. Now, we have created our first network, which is over here, which is coal. We have told you what we're going to do. We're going to build this power or this coal mine and these 4 other coal mines, and we're going to bring them all together in a network and put them into this depot and bring all the coal to this power station. That's going to give us a huge amount of money. So we're going to build this network now. We might even be able to get these two in on the same, maybe on the same train station. But we're going to bring them the whole way down into this depot, and they're just going to unload their coal in here, and a series of trains are going to bring them the whole way to the power station. Let's get back up and running. So pause back off. We'll start over here. And we're going to get a two tracks so it can load at the same time. It's going to be a depot. It's not going to be a major. No money. We have to borrow money again. Okay, let's go back and borrow the maximum just so we don't get that notification. So we're going to go, and I like bringing it back just because it does stretch the distance you bring it, which also increases the money you get. Because the cargo rates are paid based on the number of squares and the length of time it takes to deliver whatever the particular product is. Now let's start here. We're going to have this as our incoming, and this will be our outgoing line out of the kind of the venue of where we store. What do I do? It's where we keep our coal. It's our big bunker, and all the coal just gets unloaded into that. So we just want to join these dots up. There we go. And here is just this one. Same point. Sometimes when it gets hidden behind trees, it can be quite hard to make out whether it has properly gone in or not. We're going to do the same here. We're going to just join these up so we can transfer one to the other. We want these pathfinders, but they allow, what are they called? They're called a path signal, but it's also a standard path signal. This is a one-way path signal, and these are what keep our trains from smashing into each other all the time. I like to keep that one just a little bit looser. Actually, no, because it slows it all down. We'll put it back in. Okay, so that should have put in our paths the whole way back here. Excellent. And we're only going to use the one train, so they can just queue. There's no problem there. That's a one-way system, and that's a one-way system. And then we'll just use this one. Nope, this one. For what trains can come out and go into. Yeah, there we're good. Okay, we're going to put it maybe. Where's the best place for our depot? Possibly here. Nope. We're going to put it here. I just don't like making it do 90-degree turns. I know it can do 90-degree turns. I just don't like it. Oh, I've made a bit of a rookie error here again. Because I don't want this to be the first station it goes to. I want the other station to be the first station it goes to. Listen, it'll catch up. So we're going to give it a whole. We're going to send it over here. We're going to send it over here. We're going to send it back here. Now the instructions need to be full load any cargo. And this is transfer. And what transfer will do, it will unload all of the coal, but it will tell the people in the station that they want it to go somewhere else, and it will just be added to the pile and collected and brought along. I'm not going to delete these stations. I'm not really happy that I have an extra train at this point, but I'm not going to delete them because we're going to need it in a few moments. Now, let's go to skip here because we've put the depot in the wrong place. It can only go to the left, so we're going to send it off on its way. It will go in here. It will have nothing to unload, but it will come back and end up back here. What we're going to do is we're actually going to create a second depot on the line over here. Put it a little bit back from the station. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clone the train. So there are two of them. And it will go automatically to here. And to start to fill up. So just to make sure that the full load, transfer and leave empty. So if we follow this train, train 6, you will see that it starts to fill, obviously. Once it's full, we'll come back as it's nearing the other station. But once it's full, it will leave, and then it will come back at the end completely empty and just having left the money. Sorry, it won't have left money, it will have left coal for the other trains to bring to the power station. So that is one station up and running, more or less. Let's just keep an eye on it as we progress through. Come back, we'll keep an eye on it over here. We might just, because we've created a new group, we're going to put this one in, and it's going to be Dreadtown Coal. We're just going to call it a we'll call it a feeder group, or a coal feeder, so we can see the feeder coming in. Now we're going to actually change Dreadtown North, the station name, because again we want it to be Dreadtown Mines. We want it to be quite obvious what that is when you see it, that we know it's the mine rather than a town when we're looking at stations later on. So in theory, these two will bring coal to here, and then these 3 or 4 trains that are on this route will continue to bring it. It'll just speed that process up. There'll be more for them to bring. Now we go back to, let's build 2 train stations here. And what we're going to do is build it 2 stations and a workaround. So 2 stations and a route through. How will we do this? I want to put it here because it's just a nice symmetrical look through. Yeah, I know what we're going to do. We're just going to build it off as a route off a main thoroughfare line. So if I go over here, I could probably build one of these. That's too far away. If we build it here, we can drop down. I'm not really happy about this. Let's go this way. No. What we can do is we can actually build a station around it. Yeah, like that. So we can actually build a station around this and drop down the far side of the station. And then we can come through here. This can be a terminus. And then we're going to put a station off to the side here that will just join up with our route at the other end. So let's just put it where it supplies the coal. There we go. Okay, so it will make more sense as we go through. So this is going to join a terminus. This isn't going to be a terminus. This is going to be an offshoot of a bigger route. So let's bring it back to here. I like to keep the same basic formula. I'm not sure what I'm doing there. Again, click happy. I like to keep the same basic formula of what is going on, what constitutes a station, how it looks, how it's presented. And if I could bring that to there. Let's get rid of that. And just make it nice and tidy. And if we drop it down to that level, and we're actually going to change the landscape so that it actually drops down to the proper level we want to be at. Yep, there we go. Nice and tidy. And sometimes I just find it's worth spending a little bit of money and having it nice and tidy, that everyone's just happy It's quicker, it's more efficient, you're not losing time, you're not losing space. That's not going to work. You know, I don't like it, but it works. We'll just run it across. It doesn't cost any more to do it that way. And we're going to run this down as a main line, independent of that. So what we'll do is we'll work it to here, and then it will join back up in here. This will all make sense in a moment. So basically both of these are going to feed into, as well, this one. So we're going to make the line here. That will join up. We need to make a bit more space around the station. There we go. It's not quite as tidy as I'd like, but you'll see that now all the stations are joined up with what has now become the main line. Oh, I don't know why I'm doing that. So let's just make it that it can go in any direction, just in case we ever want to send it in an opposite direction to them. Okay, and now we want to join that up with here, and we're going to have this main line is going to go the whole way down and probably join up with something else. We're going to just join that in here for the moment, but it's the start of a network that is going to grow around what we're doing. So let's build. Again, I would normally just bulldoze across the river, but we're going to try and make it realistic. And we don't really have the money to do that yet. We can do that when we've got millions in the bank. We can think about doing those kind of developments where we just don't care and we just bulldoze our way through other people's land. Okay, so we are getting to a situation now where we're quite comfortable with. Here we go. We want to go in through the back of the coal station, and again it'll just be one at a time coming in. They can queue up and wait and go in. The track that's going to be used, you know, actually I'm going to make it an awful lot easier. I'm just going to go, no we won't, we'll leave it for the time being. So there, we're going to just, yeah, there we go, nice and tidy. So we will have a stop go system just before we go into the, so there's the same stop light that we can pass through both ways. This is going to send people up and not allow them down, and vice versa. And then we just simply just merge that the whole way. It'll go to the next junction, which is here. I'd rather that be there, so we're just going to delete a couple of these, spread them out a little bit better. I don't want that there, but there is fine. And we are going to just spread these out a little bit better. Take that one off the bridge just there. Okay, so now I'm really happy with how that looks. And we put one there, and then two here. There's no railway track. We never built the railway track. What are we doing? What are we doing? Now there's a railway track. See? Simple, basic mistakes. We're going to leave this unmarked because we want to leave that space here and here that the trains can move out of the junction, because otherwise it can be problematic in getting them. Although here is a bit strange, so because of the nature of that, we might just succumb. I don't like this, but it'll just have to do. So we want to allow people to come that way, but not the other way. We're going to leave it there for the moment. We're going to take it out because, again, we want to not get trains stuck in this part of the. We're going to take that out because it's not going to work long term. For the flow of traffic, we want to keep this free, and we also want to keep here free. So that also means I need to take here out. Okay, now we're looking a bit better now. Need to keep there free, so that is going to be there. And that means that we have a junction probably here. No, that'll do there. We're just counting back from the junction. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's as far as we go. So once it gets in here, this will still be free to path, gets through here, and then it ends up going into the train station. We need to just join up the dots and putting in a passing standard path signal in there. We don't need it there. It's fine. And up here, because of the way we've done it, we don't need it here either. We have it nicely set up. We're just gonna. Okay, so now I'm really happy with where we are. We're going to start putting trains on the network and start making some moolah. Okay, so we go with the same train. That is the best train. It's the one we like. We're going to go with a 4-length train again. Click in here. And we want to bring this to Weddingwell Mines. That is a full load. And this one is transfer start. Now we're going to come back in a few minutes and we're going to end up repeating a lot of these services because one train is not going to be enough. But just so the money doesn't run out, we are going to just keep it going at the moment. Now this is still a train waiting, so we're not going to affect an extra train on that just yet. It has dropped to 74%. That's probably because there hasn't been a train waiting there all the time. There is one coming back, but when this one gets to Weddingwell, it's going to send the stock over the edge because it's an influx of coal. It's going to go straight back out. So we need to up those, but we will up them in due course. At the moment, everything is fine. Let's just keep an eye here because I have a feeling that as soon as this lands, this train here, this one is also going to fill up, as will this one. So if that happens, we have no train coming back until here, which might be okay actually. But then the next train coming is going to fill up, and the one that's coming from the north. So we're going to buy an extra train. It's inevitable. We know we're going to have to do it. We want to keep it going and ticking over as nicely as possible. The way we've this structured, we can put as many trains as we want on this line, and it'll just keep rolling around each other with no problems. How are we doing over here? 47% already. Let's be realistic and say we want to keep this train profitable and looking healthy and all of the other good stuff. Let's keep an eye on it. We'll know when this one leaves. And so Overt Bridge Mines is working okay. Perfect. Okay, so Flenwell City Woods. Let's look at putting a train in here. What have we got here? We want to change the name of the station first of all. That Woods thing annoys me all of the time. So rename from Woods, because it's not Woods we're serving, it's Mines. And we're going to put in another depot. I don't want to build it there because people are going to want to go into it. So that's not really great either. Let's build it here. Yeah, let's build it there. And I'm going to build a new vehicle, Jinzu coal truck. Again, we're looking for that length of 4. That is the optimum length in my opinion. Might work differently for you, but that works for me. Once again, full load any cargo, transfer at this end. The transfer means it can be picked up and sent on for sale. And if we go to start that, and then we're going to clone the train as soon as it gets out, and we're going to send 2 of them in that direction. So you'll see now this is now at 1%. Let's see. Ratings here at Weddingwell Mines must be high, 74%. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. We can see when a train gets left off here. When a train comes in, where are we with a train coming in? Yeah, it's just left. On this end, have we got a train coming yet? We do. A train full of coal. Brilliant. Let's put in another depot at this stop here. And we're going to build, we have 2 trains there, we have 2 trains in Overt Bridge as well. We're going to put 2 trains in here. Okay, so Treadingworth Mines, full load, obviously. This gets a little bit repetitive, but I find it quite therapeutic. So, Treadingworth, another train, boom. That's no good to us. That's absolutely no good to us. Look what I did there. That was silly. I didn't put coal trucks on it. So we have a train that doesn't have coal trucks. The next one does though, thank God. Okay, this one is going to have coal trucks on it. Just put them on. We've sent it back to the depot. And we will send it off again. And we're good. We are good. Okay, so let's close. This is closed. This has a fill its gap, and the next train is still so far back. We're going to actually create another train for this station, just because the demand exceeds the supply. I think this is the really big one as well. This was like 160, wasn't it? 153, yeah. So it's a fairly big, heavy demand. These produce 210, 7 carriages by 30 is 210 coal. So we fill a train every month and a half, give or take. This one going quite nicely, about to fill up. As you can see, it just all works so smoothly when you put in the proper structure. So now let's have a bit of an overlook at what we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We missed one. Oh, I knew we missed one. I didn't know we missed one. I'd forgotten. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a fifth one. Let's just put this in, and then we'll wrap up the episode. But we'll be able to take a look at what kind of money we're turning over now. I'm going to put it over here so we can expand if we need to. Put this side, it's a bit further away. Perfect. There we go. And we'll do the same format. This is easier. If you use the same format, you know you're never going to have a problem down the line, because if you want to, you can just expand backwards. So I can do extra anywhere along here. I just add in these little bits, and as long as there's 2 squares to the side, so if I want to go back as far as here, or I can level land and go right back, I think it allows you 12. So you could end up like there's 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I could go back as far as here and just make it one big long station. It's great. It means that you can't really be, you can't really run out of space if you do it right. Whereas if you try and build it in a confined space, it can just be a hassle, cost money. None of those things are good. So let's just move this. Oh, well done, Rafney. You messed that one up. Okay, so here we go. Let's build that there. We'll put in a stop just before there. And we are pretty much good to go. We're going to take out these. Take out these. We'll take out these ones as well. And we'll work out what that means in terms of we want to put a stop there. Stop sign there. We'll work that back. Don't need 2. And then we're going to have it here going that way. And then we'll take that out. Okay, so that is now almost complete. We'll just have to join up the dots for this station and put 2 trains on it. And then we're good with the final station in this particular expansion. So we buy a vehicle, stick on a couple of coal trucks up to 4 in length, and then give it the orders. So go to, and here, that's a full load. This one is not a full load, it's transfer. So we're going to go, and we're going to do that. Now, so what I want to do before we go is just make sure that there is a train waiting at every station, that the cargo is being waited for, which helps the ratings, which helps the ultimate cargo in the end. And there's okay, that's close enough. I'm not too worried about that. I would like it to be waiting there, but it's okay. We're doing okay. Here we have nothing waiting, so that's not good. Let's see where this one goes back to Flenwell, because that has now probably dropped in terms of the rating. It's 82%. Not too bad, but I would prefer it to be higher. So hopefully this one is going to Flenwell. Yes, Flenwell City Mines. Ironically, Flenwell City nowhere near. It's over there. It does have valuables though, which might be interesting later down the line. So Flenwell City Mines, this will be half full. So I think there's enough there to justify another train. In fact, that might be the only one that we have at that station. Unless this is also going to Flenwell. No, that's going to Overt Bridge up to the north. So that's probably okay. I think we put a third one on there. Let's match up the groups. So ungrouped trains. This train is coming from Dreadtown Mines. So let's put, oh, he should be in the coal feeder. Let's add the shared vehicles. Okay, 7. He is coming from Overt Bridge Mines. So 7 goes in here. Overt Bridge Mines, coal feeder. I'm actually going to rename that other group because it's easier to keep track of them when they all have the same standard of how you address them. Okay, let's make that a little bigger. Oh, I can't make that any bigger. Okay, not to worry. Let's go back. So ungroup trains. So if we go back to the coal feeder here and we bring in all the shared vehicles, they all group together because we've kept the things grouped. So now this is collected at Suffing Pool North. Some of these names are just exceptionally weird. We're going to rename that to Mines as well. So Suffing Pool Mines. And it's coal. Let's go back here. So just it's good to tidy up these things as you go along because otherwise you just lose track. And if I go into Suffing Pool Mines and just make sure that all the trains that are there are also in that group. 13. Where's 13 coming from? 13 is coming from Treadingworth Mines. We haven't got that one yet. So 13 Treadingworth Mines. And again, that is coal. And if we go to manage list, add shared vehicles, everyone else on that route gets pulled in as well. Number 10 is collecting at Flenwell City. So as you can see, we now have goal. It is a goal, but it's coal first. I should have put mines in there. Flenwell City Mines. So now you can see that we have all of our trains. Let's just pull in all the last. No, don't want to send to depot. I think I just have sent to depot though. So let's turn that off. And turn that one off too. So let's close all of those down and just make sure that everything is running smoothly along the network. There seems to be no problems with the trains, which is great. Let's just zoom out here a bit. And we might bring up the small map with the trains on it. You can see here where everything happens. So we have this one route which brings all of the coal from here to our power station. And then all of these power stations feed into, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, feed into the other main coal depot or warehouse, whatever you want to call it, which is in here. So now I have a feeling there's going to be a stockpile here. There is 2,500. We need way more, way more. So let's build maybe 2 more and see how they cope. Because they're going to need more trains. And we're probably even going to need an extra one if we're being realistic about it. And we'll see how it branches off. We could add in more platforms here. I don't think we'll need it once we're actually kind of got the backlog done, because once this leaves, there's still a train in that station. But once this leaves, these will fill up pretty quickly. You'll see that there are trains bringing in, but this has dropped by about 20% in the couple of minutes that we've added an extra couple of trains. Once this passes the signal, the next train will be out. By the time these 2 trains leave, we'll be another 400 down. So we might just chance one more. And within 2 runs, we should be finished. How are our ratings? 52%. Not good at all. Not good at all. Okay, so I kind of want to finish up, but I don't really want to miss what happens here. Let's do a quick summary. So we have a train waiting here. A train waiting here with one more coming back as it gets to 100. Couldn't be any more perfect. 67%. With a train hopefully heading for over, no, it's not Flenhill City. This one is probably Flenhill City, Flenwell City. So we might be a little bit tight here. I think we're going to add in one more station. What's our rating like here? It's probably high because one has just been filling up. It's excellent. We're just going to stay here for a split second, just see how it gets on. This one is the, no, that's not it. It's this one here. I think we might end up just having that big gap that's just a little bit too big for my liking. That could take a month. So if we see, this leaves on the 11th of April, and it could be well into May by the time this one actually gets on, particularly if it stops at the depot. No, it's not stopping at the depot. Okay. So, okay, it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all, actually. It's 8 days. But the ratings have slipped to 77%. Okay, no, we'll leave that. We'll leave that. We'll have to keep an eye on it to make sure it stays positive. This is 56% with a train on the way back. That's really good. This one is 80% with a train just arrived. Is there any other train on this route? No, so just the two trains, and that seems to be going okay. Now here we are, 2,000 tons of coal, not enough. We need loads more trains. So let's put on 3 more trains on this track. We'll just clone this one. Now, what I want to try and avoid is putting extra trains on this track and then realizing when you get down here that there's 15 trains coming back. We always knew we would need trains to bring this coal down. They will all make money, but it's just a case now of, let's keep an eye on what happens here. This one is coming in with a full load to transfer. How much money does it make for us? Because you'll get a transfer value, which is what the coal that it's brought to here is worth. And then you don't actually see the cash, so that's 6,000. It's not bad. You don't see the cash until the coal actually reaches down, but this effectively takes 6,000 off this train's profit for the year. But either way, it's all good. It's all money in our bank account at the end of the game. We're down to about 1,700 here. We're heading in the right direction. We've dropped almost 1,000. Yeah, and this train's starting to come back now. So there's a glut of trains that are coming back. We're going to put in, just I see one dropping into the depot there. We're going to put in a couple of depots along the route to avoid it slowing the whole process down. We're just going to put in depots here. Somewhere maybe here and there. And that should just allow us to keep the trains moving along nicely. If they need a service, they can just pop in either at either end of the line here, or at the start. Perfect. Okay, that is episode 2. We are going to stop here. It's the 16th of June, and we're going to say here, and Ninwood Transport, 16th of June, we are good to go for another episode. Just to remind you, we are still, our overlying challenge in this is to make our hometown, which is Ninwood, on the other side of the map, and it's still the same, 68. It's probably still the smallest town on the map. Literally nothing happens in Ninwood, but we're going to make it the capital city. We just needed to make sure we had some money coming in first. What have we got here? We have, wow, we've done even better than I expected us to do. So we're now up to a stage with just under 300,000 of income from our trains in 2041, which was the year we came back for episode 2. We have, wow, 44, nearly double, 50% more on it. So 445,000 in 42, but we're already just under 500,000, and it's only halfway through the year. It's not even the halfway point of the year yet. So we may touch £1 million this year or come very, very close to it. The best bit is our bank balance exceeds our loan. We don't need all that money. So rather than spending £6,000 a year on our debt, I'm just going to repay the loan. I can't do it while it's paused. 1 second. I'm going to repay all our loan. And then I'm just going to save it again just so it is It'll be the 17th of June, but we are where we are. So Nindwood, still no growth here yet. That is going to be our next little challenge now that we've got this income coming up. How we're going to do it, I'm not quite sure. I think we're going to run a train line through some of these towns between Droofing Bridge and here. We're actually going to bring the train line in through Ninwood out to Gillinburg Falls. That's what we're going to do the next time. And we're going to have the trains coming from both stopping in the middle. We're bringing our passengers from this big city here with 3,000 population and this city with just over 2,000 population into Ninwood. Then we'll create a little bit of a internal bus route to build passengers around the town. It's very small, but just watch this space. We're going to make it the capital city yet. Anyway, that is it for episode 2. I will be back to you in a little while with episode 3 of Ninwood and how we're going to develop this town into our capital city.